Dual Blade Ryuko. Probably the strongest character in the entire game of Kill la Kill F. And for what reason exactly? Is it her amazing dash B that is completely busted? Is it her hyper aggression that really lets her get in on her opponents, mix them up, and really get her offense started? Or is it just the fact that she's just flat out broken? Well, some people didn't even think of the latter. Honestly, in my opinion, she is a very, very strong character with very good tools. And if you learn to take advantage of all the tools that she has, she can be very, very scary. But the one thing that I see a lot neglected with Dual Blade Ryuko is her neutral game. Aha and jokes aside, Dash B is very strong and it has no frames for anything for you to hit or punish her, but that doesn't make it good enough for you to spam it all the time. And I see that a lot with the beginners, and I see a lot of the more intermediate players kind of getting lost in the sauce when it comes to the neutral game of Dual Ryuko. And I'm here to help you today to show you some tech, give you a lift and a heads up on what to do, what you can do, and hopefully this video will help you and get you started to really exploring this character. She's one of my favorites and I'm glad that I could come today and help you guys out. Alright, so here we go. There's going to be 3 things that you want to know about the neutral with Dual Blade Ryuko. First, we're going to be going over the basics of her neutral game. And the second, we're going to be going the intermediate level of her neutral game. So, what you can do to play around certain options and can pretty much be universally used against most of the cast. And then, lastly, we're going to be doing the advanced version of her neutral game, which is more about matchup knowledge, depending on what character you play. But we're going to be getting into that later. So, first part of her neutral game. As a lot of you already may know, her dash B is very good. Animation right here, where her body is completely there and the fireball goes out, her body is completely invincible at this time. So, what that means for you is that if they try to punish you off of it, you can't get punished for it. The main problem is that a lot of Dual Ryukos, and I see, from what I play, even at the intermediate level of Dual Blade Ryuko, all they're simply going to do is block dash B. Now when you block dash B, of course you have options out of it, so you can be like dash B and then guard break, right? But more often than not, they're going to sidestep you. This is going to be your worst enemy for dash B is sidestep. And I see a lot of newer players going for dash B, getting sidestepped or guarded and getting punished, and they don't know what to do. So the basis of her neutral game, of course, would be dash B. But if you want to absolutely just kind of trick your opponent in what you're doing, you want to mask dash B as much as you can. So a way you can mask dash B would be fireball neutral. So fireball neutral dash B, maybe get your opponent open that way. Charge fireball into dash B, which can also lead into a wall splat as you just saw, giving you a free combo. Or better yet, mash dash B and then use it as a neutral game, because I see a lot of Dual Ryukos going for dash B only for the invincibility up close. A lot of them forget that dash B is a fireball. Use the fireball. It's very strong. Another big thing about her is her neutral charge B, or her 5B. This move is very, very strong, and I rarely see a lot of newer beginner Dual Ryukos actually utilizing this move to its maximum potential. So for this move, as you can see, it can be charged, and when it's charged, she has armor. Right here where her body glows completely, that has armor to it. So if they try to dash in at you at any point, they're going to get smacked by it. Say that your opponent is dancing around you, trying to start their game plan going. A lot of the times what you can do in that situation is just literally charge it up. When they dash at you, they get smacked. Now, another part of this move is that not only can you have this charge right here, you have your second charge. Your second charge can catch a lot of people off guard. A lot of people will like to stand all the way still at the other side of the stage and just kind of block you, right? If you can bait this part and they think they're away, free hit right there. And I don't see a lot of Doryukos using this. I understand that the charge for this is pretty long. It's very long, in fact. But it does help you a lot. And I promise you, in the long run, this is going to do some serious mental damage to your opponent. Because now they're going to be looking for this part and trying to jump over it, which can give you a free air dash. They're going to be scared of you trying to outrun this, and they're going to be running into something very stupid. So make sure that you use your charge B. And the last thing about her basics for neutral would have to be her guard breaks. Now, her guard breaks are the best in the game. Does that mean that you have to spam them though? Is the question that we're all asking. What I see them do a lot of the time is this. And they'll get smacked by it every time. They will get smacked by that every time. And it's ridiculous. A lot of the times, what they'll end up doing is they'll try to do this, and their opponent will end up backdashing on them. It is very common. So please be careful when you use her 5B guard break. But using it for a block string is perfectly fine. So let's say that your opponent is blocking, right? Your opponent is blocking, you're trying to get in. Boom, guard break, automatically. Beautiful block string, and they have to sidestep and guess. It's almost a 50-50 about... It's almost 50-50. It's a guess between whether you're going to hit and whether it's not, and you can lead in the big damage, even going to your combo from it. You utilize your guard breaks in neutral, and don't be afraid to throw them out. Just don't throw them out at random, because if you remember correctly, her recovery frames on all of her moves are very, very bad. They're very poor. They're not well optimized to be throwing out moves like that, so just be very, very careful. So now we're on to the last section of the basics. And this one's pretty simple, and I don't see a lot of new players do this. You're going to want to use your dashes, your side steps, your back dashes. Use these. Get used to this a lot. Understand that dash B is very strong. I understand if you started using your neutral B, this is a very strong tool, but this is not going to save you forever. Pretty soon you're going to be running into situations where your opponent is going to be really reading you and putting you on lock for a lot of your mistakes. And it's going to be very tough to get out of those situations. So you're going to really want to use your side steps in neutral. Use your side steps, use your back dashes, and when we get into the intermediate stuff, you'll be learning how to do stuff like this. Masking dash B in the guard breaks. Going sidestep in the neutral B for a combo. Or hell, even going forward, back, dash B into dash C. But you're not going to be able to learn all that if you don't use your sidesteps. I understand that sidestepping moves can be scary. So let's say that Sasuke is over here throwing fireballs at you. And what your instinct is going to be is just, I got to block these. Boom. And then you can sidestep, punish, get your combo going. Easy. You can even fake out people with that. So make sure that you're using your side steps in neutral. Alright. So you made it this far. The intermediate steps of her neutral game. This is where her neutral game starts becoming a lot of fun. So we're going to be learning some pretty crazy stuff. So first thing I want to show you for the intermediate stuff, because this is where I can kind of let loose and really talk about the in-depths of the character, now that we have the basics out of the way. So, Doryuko has some of the fastest side steps in the game. Is it as fast as single blades? No, not even close. But it is a pretty decent speed, as you can see. As I talked about in the basics, using sidestep is very important. It's very, very important to her game plan, especially for neutral, because like I said earlier, dash B, dash A, dash C, oh my god, especially dash C, it can just whiff, it can miss, people can read that from a mile away. Now if you're playing a less skilled player, of course they're going to be getting hit by that every time because they don't really have the knowledge to deal with those situations, especially with someone as strong as Doryuko. But with the more advanced players, it's going to be very tough just to sit in neutral block and, try your best to sidestep, right? It's gonna be really hard. All right, you're not even basically just sitting here waiting for an attack and this sidestepping is gonna work half of the time. It's gonna be a very uphill battle. So, what do we do to circumvent that? What do we do in order in our power to make neutral as easy as possible and try to get an advantage on our side as quickly as possible? I got the answer for you right here. Masking is number one. Masking is so important with Dual Ryuko. It is probably one of the biggest parts of her neutral game plan that I've experienced. I've been playing this character for about almost 200 hours now, and I've fought nothing but high-level players. And I have to tell you that masking is so important in your matchups. And is universal. For every character, this is important. So, how does masking work exactly? Well, masking is basically saying you're covering up the actions of one move and going into another move. So, for example, instead of, just dash being in neutral, right? What you're gonna want to do, sidestep, get in close, make them think you're going for another option. You see what's gonna run through your opponent's mind is that when you dash up like this, 3 options to worry about. Either 1, you're going for dash A, and you're gonna be trying to go into a block string. 2, you're going into dash B to try to get your frames cut off completely, so it's gonna be hard for them to punish, so they could probably sidestep it or try to block it or do something. Or C, you're going for dash C, and it's an unblockable completely. So if they sit there and block it, they're gonna be screwed over. All of that is going through your opponent's brain right now when you're just doing this. All you did so far was you dashed up with the homing dash and you canceled your homing into dash. So if you guys don't know how that's performed, regular dash, so XX, and right before you hit your opponent, you're gonna want to hold guard, which is R1, and then flick the stick twice or once in twice up or twice back, twice left or twice right in either direction. So homing, cancel, homing, cancel, homing, cancel, homing, cancel. To scare your opponent a lot. You're literally doing almost a 30-30-30 on them. So you're going dash A. If they block that, they're in a block string and they have to guess it or sidestep. Dash into dash B. Dash into dash C. It's a 3-way mix. They have to guess. And it's so important that you learn masking. You can do crazy stuff with masking too. You don't just have to go dash forward into fireball into dash B, or dash into dash A, or dash into JA. You can do anything you want to with masking. You can sidestep, back up into do nothing to scare your opponent into making a move. You can go dash forward, dash B, combo starter. You can go dash B into backup, try to dodge an attack they do. Dash B into sidestep, fireball. Anything your brain can think of, you could probably do it out of the dash. And that's why it's so scary, because now they have to guess. That's either going to leave your opponent doing 2 things. 1, pressing buttons frantically trying to stop you from whatever you're doing because they're scared of the next option that you're finna throw out. Or B, they're going to stay there and block. And if they stay there and block, that's exactly what you want. Stay there and block. Eat the combo that we're going to be dishing out to you. Eat the pressure. You're going to want that. Masking is very, very important. Number 2 of the intermediate neutral game. Delaying and canceling your fireballs. So, delaying and canceling your fireballs are very, very important. So as I said in the basics, this is very, very strong. It really sends fear in your opponent. They can't sidestep. They can't dash at you. You have armor. And the same goes for JB. Has armor, is amazing to deal with pressure. Just like dash B itself, it can be countered. Just like everything else she has, it can be completely shut down and destroyed by other options. For example, Satsuki's fireballs. Satsuki's charged fireballs can eat right through it. So let's say I'm trying to go for a neutral option, right? Charge B. See how she hopped right over that? Now she has the pressure and she won neutral in that one interaction because I just charged it there. Why? Because she knew this was going to happen. She knew it was coming. She knew that she couldn't take this damage. So why not take the free option with literally no risk at all to her to punish me? You don't want that. We want all the momentum of the game on our side at almost all times. Is that going to happen all the time? No, of course. But the more chances that we have to make that happen, the better. Canceling and delaying your fireballs are so important. Almost as important as masking. Because this right here, not going to work half the time. They're not going to let you fully charge it. So what I like to do personally is I like to go for faster fireballs. So let's say I'm in the neutral game. I'm doing my cancels. I'm trying to figure out an opening, and I'm like, okay, there's clearly no way that Satsuki's going to approach me from this range. She's going to be throwing fireballs at me, and her fireballs beat mine. What do I got to do to apply pressure at a quick enough speed that I could possibly go in? Boom, right there. That is so simple. So simple. The reason that you won't want to do this against beginners is just for the simple fact that if you do this against beginners, they're just going to dash in at you and you're going to look stupid and die. And it's not really going to help you too much. But against more advanced players, they're going to be looking for the charge. Because not only is the charge a great combo starter, because look at the damage on it. Like I said before, the blasts on the side are really going to play a big impact on how it's going to hit your opponent. So if you just cancel, look how fast that is that they have to react to it. So cancel into A, lead to a combo, and can get you to a wall splat. Cancel into C. Easy money right there. It's basic as it gets. You can cancel into your dashes. Beautiful stuff. And you can cancel your air fireballs as well into your guard crushes. So boom. Easy. And the reason that you want to mix up this timing is because pretty soon they're going to be looking for this. They're going to be like, okay, he's going to be throwing out his fireballs really fast at me. He's going to try to win neutral as fast as possible with low risk. What do I have to do to stop this? All of a sudden, they're overthinking. Now they're overthinking. All of a sudden, oh, armor move. Delaying and canceling your fireballs. Alright, we're finally here. Last but certainly not least, the advanced neutral tech. This one is going to be for my dual wields that have been playing this character for a little bit longer than most. It is definitely going to help improve and level your game. These techniques I'm still perfecting to this day, and I just want to share it with you guys to really help you out on what you can do to improve. So we went over masking, which is going to be sidestepping, masking your inputs. We went over the delay and charge fireball. We went over the block strings. What else could we possibly do to open up your opponent at this point in the neutral? We've gone so far from just standing and spamming dash me. We've come so far from that. Well, my friends, I can tell you two things that's going to improve you in your neutral game in advanced play. Number one is going to be hard baiting. There's going to be times where we can't go in. There's going to be times where we feel stuck. There's going to be times where there's going to be a Satsuki and she's going to be throwing fireballs trying her best to guard break you. Like there's no tomorrow. I mean, what are you going to do about this? What's masking? What's sidestepping going to do about any of this? Well, guess what? Just like every other character in this game, she has something called startup frames. Which means this doesn't come out frame 1. This is fast, but it doesn't come out frame 1. You know what that means? For us, it can be baited. It can be sidestepped. It can be dealt with. So what exactly do we do to do that? For one, for baiting, this is your best friend, the double dash. Now, this is some of my tech that I personally found, and it's really been helping me in my gameplay. I'm finally glad I can share it with you. The double dash is so important. So, normally when you're masking, right, your opponent's going to see that you're dashing, you're going all over the place, right? You're going back, you're going forth, you're trying to get in, you're trying to get your neutral started. What your opponent does inspect is the double dash. Either dashing forward twice, to get over your opponent, or dashing back twice to get away from your opponent. Now, double dashing is going to require a little bit of practice at first, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to double dash, and then you're going to get smacked for it, basically. A lot of the double dash is not safe at all. It is going to get punished by anything that they throw out that's going to hit them at eye level. But man, if you understand how to use this, you're going to be a monster on the battlefield. Now that they're looking for you to mask your inputs and mask and try to figure out what's going on, double dashing is going to really mix them up. As you can see, dashing over twice to the front and the back, dashing over twice in front of them, that's going to bait them out to do a move. Right. And the final advanced tech for the neutral game for Duel Ryuko actually lies within a tool that I haven't talked about this whole video, which would be her Valor level. Her Valor level is going to be one of your saving graces, I promise you. So, for Dual Blade Ryuko, and the reason that I haven't talked about it in the beginning and the intermediate stages of the neutral game is simply because she really doesn't need it. She already does a lot of damage, her dash isn't that bad, and it can get you what you need to do and kill your opponent efficiently and quickly if you optimize the way you play. But don't sleep on Valor. Valor is very strong, and it is very, very scary. I can tell you exactly why. Because just like her counterpart, and another one of my favorite characters to play, Single Blade Ryuko, her movement speed increases dramatically. It's very, very fast. Her dashes become longer and way quicker, which would make masking and double dashing even more of a threat than before. Once you learn to master her Valor level 1 movement, she becomes an unstoppable force to be reckoned with. Practice and use her Valor level 1 to complete. That's all you really need is Valor level 1. You will do so much damage in Valor level 1 thanks to this simple, easy, executable combos that you can do. You already have the boost for your Ender, and you get all that damage just by moving. Just by moving around in Valor level 1. Masking your inputs. Getting free wall splats. Utilize it. It is going to be so important in the advanced game, especially now more than ever. Because of a lot of top players, they don't use Valor. They really ignore it, and I understand why. Like I said before, an intermediate beginner, there's no need for it. You already do enough damage. You already move fast enough. You have all the tools you need to get the job done. But if you can get Valor level 1, you will be so much better off and so much more of a threat. You're going to be making your opponent guess so much harder because they know, they are certain that if they get touched a single time, that's it. They're done. No burst is going to save them. They're going to be getting burst baited. They're going to be getting counter supered. All because you have that one little star buy. There's no need for 2. There's no need for 3. If you get that, it's amazing. But Valor level 1. I've been playing a lot with Valor level 1 lately. And I've come up with some insane stuff. Some crazy things. Insta backdashing. Insta forehead cross-ups. Insta dash Bs. Side switch into dash C, which can catch your opponent jumping, being scared of your neutral game. I've actually caught a lot of people jumping because they're scared of the backdash of how far it goes. And also, dash A, and they have to react to all of that, leading into block strings as we talked about, all of your neutral game. And they have to deal with the fact that your damage is way more increased than it is before. So make sure that you use Valor level 1. Here's an example match from one of the best players fighting Duel Sasuke against Revival Phoenix. Hopefully you can see what I applied in my neutral game in order to play. and maybe you can learn from my mistakes as well. Enjoy the match. Thank you guys for watching the guide, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield.
Counter hit! Counter hit! This is nothing. Here I come! Get him! This is nothing. Let's set him up! Roger that! What, you? Gosh, damn it! Get over! Round over! It's not over. I'm not done yet. That kind of hurt. On guard! Round 2 begins! Here I come! Gosh, get him! You're so done! There's no... Take this! Damn it! Get over! What? You can get over! Get him! Here I come! Counter hit! Round over! What a shame. You'll regret this. On guard! Final round begins! Here I come! Take this, sucker! Get him! Right there! You challenge me? Here I come! Counter hit! Get over there! Get him! Let's go! Counter hit! Counter hit! Get over! Get him! Let's go! Counter hit! Here I come! Stay! You're so done! There's no... You can cut me off! You will yield! Damn it! Here I come! I got this! Here we go! You challenge... Counter hit! Right there! Right there! I'm counting on you, deckheads! Gonna slice you nice and thick! Match set! After all your big talk, I thought you'd be way tougher.
That's one for us, Ryuko. Winner! Ryuko Matoi.